Healing is eternal to an extent, because I think that there will be a point where people are whole again. People realize that they were never not whole. I would love to see a society where everybody is an empath and can't escape it. Because if everyone was an empath, they would have soul sovereignty instantly. Because they would never hurt anyone, because they would feel it as if they were hurting themselves. And that would be the perfect form of personal interest. Because every time you hurt someone, it would hurt you. So it would be the perfect form of personal interest. And people would stop being so mean to one another in a big way. They would start being more loving. I think that that would be perfect. Everyone should be empaths. Problem solved. So let's get all your psychic abilities online. Y'all know the Soul Work Masterclass. Shameless plug. No, let me stop. Shameless plug. Because I have 2 weeks that I actually do psychic abilities in that class because it's so extensive, and we actually end with healing work because I wanted to leave everybody with something that they could take. Right? If everyone was an empath, it would be like perfect. It would be literally like the perfect society because everybody would feel everybody else's pain if everyone was an empath. But that's just my idea on that. And then I wouldn't have to be like, hey guys, don't you care about your soul sovereignty? And everyone's like, what the fuck is soul sovereignty, Isabel? And I'm like, it's everything. It's liberty. And they're like, oh, liberty. I'm not sure about that. I don't feel like, not having money for 2 years, and I don't feel like being creative and making my own business because it's just too much work. I'd rather be someone's slave. What? Excuse me? You don't want to know your own uniqueness? Nah, I'm good here being an automaton, being a bot. This is the world we live in, y'all. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. I think everybody, see, and this is something that I believe Native Americans used to do, and a lot of indigenous cultures do this, is that every person that's born, they strive to, what was it that I heard? They strive to understand that person's uniqueness. Because anybody who's born, once we can understand what their uniqueness is, and that's basically understanding at a young age what their soul purpose is. What is their uniqueness? What did you come to bring to the planet specifically? Then what you can do is actually curate how they're brought up in the world around them so that they can express their uniqueness most effectively. Going into a school where everybody learns the same thing in a cookie cutter way does nothing but strip you of your uniqueness, which is why there's so many people walking around feeling lost, not knowing that they're a slave and a bot when they could just proclaim their uniqueness and have their soul sovereignty. And that's why a lot of people, got parents and significant others in some cases, be so jealous because you're actually getting to a space where you're expressing your uniqueness. And even though you're literally, by you doing it, you're giving them permission to do the same, they're so jealous because they feel like their uniqueness doesn't matter. And then that forms insecurity within them. And then they may take that out by speaking to you a certain way, by trying to limit you, by trying to keep you in a cage. I've dealt with that a lot because I'm so enthusiastic about everybody else's uniqueness that they really start to believe in themselves. Because why wouldn't you believe in yourself? But then that means that I also have a very strong belief in myself. And sometimes people get very intimidated by that, which I can't understand why, because it's like me. But okay, guys, if that's what you want to do today, well, it's fine. Yeah, well, authenticity is very important. Wait to view what their names are. Yes, 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 Will of Earth. They did do that. They would wait. Sometimes didn't they let the kids name themselves? Or they will wait to see. I know they did that for like Sitting Bull, or like back then they used to wait to see if what their qualities would be before they name them. I thought that was dope too. Like, well, what does this person do all the time? And let's name them that. I thought that was dope as fuck. Yeah, they are clones. Total clones. But there are ways. It's crazy because these ways have existed. So really it's like it's Back to the Future in real life. Like, is this really is some like Back to the Future shit, us figuring out how to clear all the garbage so that everyone can express their uniqueness. This is like some real life Back to the Future shit. Like some real life, like doing old practices and techniques, but in a new environment that isn't really new, because it's, as we start to get connected with the ancient cultures, we're literally going to be doing things the same way, and then we'll see how advanced they really were. That's the funniest part to me. Ah, that makes sense. That's why I be trying to change Twilight Zone. Yeah, exactly, y'all. My mind is there. I might watch the Twilight Zone after this. Stop playing with me. I'm finna put on a movie and have some chia seeds because I'm hungry already, y'all. I ain't really eat like that today. But it don't matter because we're not eating for 3 days. Yeah, put those chia seeds to use. That's funny that you said that. What's your name again? I'm sorry. Why did I? My bad. Oklahoma. Oh, Will of Earth. That's so funny that you said that though. At times they change their name because you know what? A lot of people. I know a guy that I used to work with. I used to work at a diner, y'all. Could you imagine me working at a fucking diner? But I did. I used to work at a diner as a waitress, and there was a man that I worked with, and he was doing, I guess, the Amway thing on the side, and he was working there, and I think he had another business or two, but he used to, what did he used to do? He had changed his name 7 times. That's like crazy to me. Now, Isabel is my middle name. My first name is like my mom's name, Edna, but I'm actually planning on probably 2020. I'll do it right at the beginning because my birthday is January 11th. So I might do it like right before my birthday or put in the paperwork on my birthday for it. But I want to drop my first name and just keep my middle name as my name because it just suits me better now. Like, I feel like my mom almost did a sort of spell on me by being someone who doesn't face their trauma, who doesn't face their shit, and then like I'm the person that's always facing the shadow side, that's always doing the work, like that's in clearing the DNA for our family. Like I'm the only one that really does this healing work. And I feel like she tried to curse me. It didn't work because I don't use that name no more. But I feel like she tried to curse me by giving me her, yeah, I'm a Capricorn with a Cancer moon. Exciting stuff, right? I'm a mystery. I'm an enigma. No, let me stop. I'm boosting myself. Isabel is your last name? That's crazy. Yeah, my first name. Well, now it's gonna be my first name because I'm gonna change my name because I don't use my other first name anymore, like that my family gave me. My, my middle name is Isabel. It's actually all the girls in my family. They got the same middle name, Isabel. But I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna take that and just put it as my first name and drop my first name because I don't use my first name like that no more. And I feel like what my mother had done was like a form of magic, but she just didn't realize it 'cause she's unconscious. But I feel like what she did was by giving me her first name, she tied me to her and put all her shit like onto me, like trauma, like all that kind of stuff. And I was like, was thinking about that the other day. Not that I was mad about it, but I just found it interesting. And I was like, damn, we're like two. Why the fuck would she give me her name for like opposite people? Like, you don't deal with trauma. You run away from everything. We're just not the same. You seem all happy-go-lucky on the outside and stuff. She really miserable as fuck on the inside. Like, come on, bitch. I feel bad. If she sees this, she gonna cry because I got her as a friend on Facebook too. Okay? Oh, that's how much I don't care. Because I tell people this shit to their face. Oh, being a Capricorn is fun. Yeah, I agree. I love, and you know what's funny is that my life path number, I guess. See, they try to reduce my shit to a 4, but a bitch got a master building number of 22. And y'all know something? They didn't used to say they used to only do 11 and 33. Then I found out that 33 was added on later and that the original master numbers were 11 and 22. I'm so happy the truth is coming out because I was like, why is there nothing? I don't want to be a 4. This is so boring. Sorry, not sorry. Yes, I believe we choose our families for a purpose, whether it just be that that was your entry point, whether it be that you were like, I kind of like these people. I'm gonna come through, and I know they need a little help with this, so let me come through and help them with that. Because usually the planet will ask, or there'll be a vibration on this planet that will ask for someone specifically like you. So if you ever met somebody that had like a weird thing they were into, like if you met someone that was oddly into like worms, or they were really into like cockroaches, or so just some real weird shit. They loved being a one of those people that kills bugs or whatever. People like that was their purpose. That's what they came on the planet to do, because somebody on the planet. So that's literally a prayer being answered. Like, and it's because somebody on the planet was like, oh, we need this. And the vibration had went out, and enough people started putting energy into that thought form, so then you get a special delivery on the planet. And with more people not fulfilling their soul purpose, or because you're different from them, that might have just been your entry point. That might have just been a vessel that you were like, okay, this matched my vibration enough, I'm coming through. Like, I know that my physical family, the only one that I think I knew was my dad, because I love him so much. But in my brother, my sister, my mom, I'm not sure. I don't remember even seeing or feeling either of them in any of my past lives that I remember. I don't even remember really seeing my father, but I feel like I knew my dad in the astral. And me and my brother were Irish twins, so we're 11 months apart. That's my baby. But yes, sometimes you just come in because that's your entry point, like your vessel to come in. Sometimes you get put with a specific family because they were asking, and you were like, all right, that's a little side mission. Like, my side mission with my family is just to clear their DNA, which by me just being in my purpose, I do. So my being was actually really advanced. Even how they have my chart set up, I'm just kind of like, this being was very advanced, this higher self of mine. Because, and a lot of us have very, very advanced higher selves, because you'll start putting the pieces together when you start looking at the clues. So you'll be like, okay, so I went through all this trauma when I was a kid. What purpose did it serve? All right, all the trauma that I went through actually made me capable of not being so emotionally triggered later on in life, because I understood that everything happened for a reason, and I resolved my issues so they're not becoming compounded, and they're not getting stuck in my energy body, and now I could heal and teach other people. Mind you, y'all, like I said before, I was molested when I was a kid. At 16, I forgave my molester to his face. It was a family party, and this was somebody who was married into the family. This was not someone that was with any of my immediate family members. There was a family party. I was about 16. My grandma came up from Puerto Rico, And you know, Puerto Ricans, you gotta walk around and say, but really any family's like they gotta walk around, say bye to everybody. So I did that, and I get to him, and all night he was like, "Do you want something to eat? Do you want something to drink?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." So I'm gonna back up a little bit before I finish this. Um, what happened was that I remember one day I was on the train because I used to save my lunch money and go to the city, but don't tell my parents that because they probably would still yell at me for it. But yeah, I saved my lunch money and go to the city almost every weekend because I didn't like I wanted to see what was around. You know, I was always like that. I've been going to the city. I was going to the city by myself since I was like 13. I used to just get on the train and go. And ain't shit ever happened, by the way. But I remember one day I was on the train back and I was already on the Long Island Railroad. And I just started busting out crying. Like tears. Thank God nobody else was in that car. I wouldn't even give a fuck if someone was sitting next to me. I would have just been crying. They would have been like, "Oh, something's wrong with her." And they would have got up and left. But I was in tears because I am incapable of staying in an uncomfortable vibration. I'm actually incapable of holding on to pain, which is why like people will think that I'm like mad about something still or whatever, but like I just don't stay mad. Like I'll be not mad 2 seconds after I was mad. I'll be like, all right, I'm over it. What's up? And for real, mean it. I won't bring the shit up or nothing. I'll just be way over it. So now we're gonna fast forward. I wish I had sound effects. That would have been fun just now. Um, so then I finally at the party get to him. After I had had that heart to heart, I released that emotion. So that was the beginning of really clearing it. You know, after I had that good cry. He looks me in the eye. He just looks at me. He's like, "Can you forgive me?" He just looked at me and said, "Forgive me?" I looked down at him. I said, "Baby, 16. This is how you know I'm an old ass soul." I was like, "Baby, I already have." Turned around and walked out. And that was one of the most proudest moments of my life. That I not only was able to heal myself, and this was a process because I want to say that I just recently was able to get over really all the trauma from that. But it was, you know, layers of an onion. Something else might come up later that I don't understand. Um, really, and not so much the forgiving of the human, but the acts alone cause a specific kind of trauma that you have to get over. So it's not that you're even mad at the person anymore. You just understand that because it happened when you were a kid and had no defenses, that you have to learn to rewire your brain. And for me, the lesson that I learned was self-worth. That's what the lesson actually ended up being, was more self-worth. But that was my real life. Like it was like a movie, but it really happened. That was my real life. And I never forgot the gift of forgiveness and how much forgiveness, like, it's for you, but like, it's for them too. And yeah, it's one of the most powerful things I ever learned. Y'all really be getting me in my feelings on these lives. I'm always about to cry. A bitch be all emotional. Yeah, it's so, I can't believe it. There are ones that are perfectly okay working at a sewage plant. Opposite for my mom. I'll say so. Melanie Moon. And Melanie, welcome. I haven't seen you on here before, so thank you for joining us. I'm opposite for my mom. I relate to what you're saying, and it's just making me think. In a way, she needs me. Sounds weird. Yeah, I feel like some parents have us because they're incapable of healing themselves. So it's like they have us to heal us for them, and I don't think that's fair. So that's why I decided that I want to just go by my middle name as my first name, since I use it anyway basically as my first name now. Yeah, that's the beginning of the shadow work, girl. Because you have to think that because at that early age, now my whole thing that I had that I was healing and that I recently was able to really heal well, was that I had now the feeling of, what was it called? What is it called? Wow, I'm drawing the craziest blank. I don't know. Anyway, so this feeling that I've been able to cultivate now of self-love and self-worth, that was it. That's what it was. I don't know why I was drawing a blank. Because this was very traumatic, so it was even hard for me to talk about. But that particular person used to make me do stuff with like my cousin, and we have a silent thing where we don't talk about it because we were both abused and we didn't know any better because we were kids. So like we don't talk about it, but we were both abused and by, his parent. And it was really sad. And I don't think he ever got over it. I don't think he was strong enough to heal the way I have. And I really hope that he could find that for himself one day. But because of that, I thought that love came from pleasing a man. And I thought that as long as like with sex or with affection, things like that, that I equated that with love for a very long time. So like when somebody would use you, I didn't realize that that was like, and this was a thing that really, I mean, this shit was deep, dog, to realize that. And I'm like, I'm all these great things and I still didn't figure this out. What the fuck? But I healed that. I healed that. I realized it maybe about a year or so ago. And then it was a process from there of healing that I feel like the healing really has been more complete now. It was complete probably by midsummer, honestly. But I hadn't realized, and what happens is men seek out damaged women. So men will seek out damaged women who might have all these great qualities going for them, but don't recognize their self-worth and don't recognize that they deserve better. So men who are predators, and a lot of men are trained to be predators, this is what they do. And then a woman will feel weird when a guy's like, no, I don't want to like have sex with you right away. I want to wait. The woman will be like, well, you don't like me? And that's not really what it is. What it is that for me, I was cool with it. I was like, okay. But what'll happen is because of trauma like that, especially sexual abuse at an early age, people will, women especially will equate sex with love. So when the guy doesn't want to have sex with her right away because he actually respects her, she's never been treated with respect. So she could be all these great things. She could be the most amazing woman ever. If she hasn't been treated with respect ever, she doesn't know how to treat herself with respect. Even if she wears like, like clothes like a damn grandma, she still is gonna have that complex. And men who are predators seek out women like that. I know because I almost got raped one time and then I had to kick this dude in his face. Yeah. Remember, my name never seemed right to me. I always thought my name should have been Victoria or Vicky. Athena. That's really a beautiful name. Yeah, go ahead and take on your new name. Not fair. Yeah, I'm in the beginning of my shadow work. Be seeing me more. Your stories make me want to cry. Thank you. You know what? I just got used to speaking about it because I realized that my story could help other people. Can't speak. I blocked my childhood out, but check this out. Melanie, when I dealt with the trauma, now this is what I do for work actually. Like this is the cord cutting ceremonies I do, the readings that I do, everything that I do is for healing. So if you get a reading, you're also going to get techniques, and you're going to get you can ask my cousin, her account right here is Chris Phoenix, she did a cord cutting. You could just literally inbox her after and ask her how it went for her. Actually, there's probably a couple people in here who have been my clients, but anybody will tell you. Yeah, the sexual abuse is crazy. But once you get over it, trust me, you're on the other side. It's like a breath of fresh air. It's like you finally could feel yourself, because a lot of times you've taken on so many different people's energy that you actually don't know what your energy feels like. So you could actually feel yourself, and that's like the beautiful part. Now I got off track. I forgot what I was talking about. Aw, look at this. Women helping women. I love it. I love you guys. This is beautiful. See how we all come together to heal? I didn't know this live was going to turn into this. Oh, let me tell y'all this story, because you're going to laugh at this shit. Even though I really did almost get raped one time. So this was my fault, because I was what, 18? It wasn't really my fault. No, this was before. I was probably 16, 17. I thought I was cute. I was dating this older guy, and we went to the Nautical Mile in Freeport. And I didn't have an ID, but I was cute. So I used to just, I was all like with my little heels and shit, and I thought I was somebody. So I was drinking, and then we ended up at his friend's house. But it was like me, him, his friend. It wasn't really anything crazy. I didn't feel like uncomfortable with them. So he goes, I'm about to get a blunt, because he was going to roll up and smoke. Plus I was like messing with only him. So I didn't think anything would happen. He's like, I'm going to just walk down the block to the corner store and come right back. I go, all right, cool. His friend had like a studio, like a basement studio. And he had a bed over here, a couch here. He had turned on the TV, was sitting down. And I was fucked up. So I was like, you know what? I don't feel good right now. So while he's out, is it okay if I lay down for a little bit? The dude was like, yeah, go ahead and lay down. Relax. So I wake up. This motherfucker was trying to pull off my pants, y'all. And I really felt like angels, like Archangel Michael's always with me. But I felt like angels touched me. And all of a sudden, I was not drunk at all. And I saw the beings touch me, and I wasn't drunk at all. All of a sudden, I was totally sober. And I kicked this motherfucker in his face. I did. He was trying to pull my pants off. And I was like, what the fuck? Boom, I kicked him in his fucking face. And then I made him drive me home. Because that's what you do when you're me. And then after all that, he had the audacity to ask me for my number. I looked at him. I was like, motherfucker, get the fuck out of my face. You think I would ever fucking talk to a dirtbag like you? Fuck you. And fuck your friend, too. I ain't talking to him no more neither. So that was that story. That shit was funny as, it was a good I almost got raped story. And that shit was my real life. But there's a lot of predators out here once again. So once again, ladies, you gotta be careful, because they exist. Men, you should be careful too, because I'm sure you got women that they make it their business to take advantage of you. But men, I feel like men get too worked up over that, and it's usually broke men. I'm like, broke or like no ambition, no goals, and that like have been boosting themselves up. Oh my God, we got this so much in this motherfucking conscious community. They be boosting themselves up so much, or the spiritual communities. They boost themselves so much up in their head that they think they're all this and all that, and they not really shit. And you're like, and it's not to say the soul obviously is a beautiful thing, but the person, the flesh is retarded. Like, you're like, your soul's obviously taking a very long nap. It's been about 10,000 years. It's time to wake up, sir. 10,000 years is a very long time. So some people will, it's just a weird, y'all. It's a weird thing. So those, and it's usually those men that say that they're an alpha male. Oh, you're an alpha male. You should be an omega male. Alpha's like the regular daily life brainwave. So when somebody says that, I can't say that I work with him. We're friends. Archangel Michael, we just have a rapport because that's Michael Jackson's like archetype. And he's always been with me since I was a little kid. So like when I had went through a time in my life where about 5 years ago, like a lot of crazy shit happened. It was really spirit giving me a kick in the ass because I was living too fast. You know what I'm saying? So around that time I got depressed, and Archangel Michael used to stand by my bed every night and guard me while I slept. And it was really beautiful. And I used to see him too, and just because I could see spirits since I was a little kid. So I used to just look and be like, all right, he's here. And knock out, be fine. And recently I was attacked by Yahweh. Yahweh's an asshole. That's one of those archons. He's kind of like Yaldabaoth. I think they might be the same motherfucker. I was attacked by Yahweh, and then I started speaking in tongues. I had to chant his energy off of me. He was trying to drain me. And that's because I had gotten into an argument with the guy I was dating. And me and him were fighting. And I wasn't even really fighting. I was really trying to get him to be sensible, and he was being crazy. And he started being a vampire, draining my energy. So it was like, it got crazy. And I'm very like level-headed and calm because I do spiritual work. Like, I am not finna go crazy right now. I'm gonna be calm like I always am and try and talk some sense into him, but it wasn't working. So then I had realized that my body had not gotten taken over, but it's like he was draining my energy, so I became very depleted. Right out of the solar plexus too. And so my defenses were a little weaker than normal because I was giving him so much attention. You know, when you care about somebody, you give them a lot of attention. And then I had an attack from this nigga Yahweh was trying to eat on me. Then I felt my soul. It was like crazy. It was like my higher self was like, nah, son, we're not going to let this shit rock. Fuck out of here. And it was like my higher self came all the way into my body, and I just felt my soul burst through. And then I had went outside to the front because we have like a little, you know, a little table with like 2 chairs in the front porch. And I went to smoke a cigarette, and then I started chanting. And then I had started chanting, and then when I was chanting, it started being in tongues, and then I felt my ancestors. And that was that day I felt my ancestors. Then I had a vision. Right after I stopped chanting, that energy left. Then I had a vision, actually, that, you know, I say all that to say this, of Archangel Michael actually fought Yahweh to save me, to protect me. So that's definitely a good one. He was fighting him. Like, I saw it clearly. I was like, yo, I am really highly favored and loved, and everybody is. But these are the miracles that happen that you can't see. And you don't know who's fighting for you every single day. I could see them because I trained myself to I mean, I could always see them, but to even see that was like next level shit. Everybody's a psychic, and that's why I always say that everybody's a psychic. All right, well, mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you for hanging out with us. Yeah, the flesh is retarded. Boosting themselves up, being the opposite of what they claim to be, just feeding the ego. Yeah, exactly. I can't understand that. I was trying to understand. Girl, I was confused. All right, y'all. I think I'm going to end this live here before my laptop goes out on me. This thing's charged. This thing don't hold a charge no more. I think I'm going to get a new one after, you know, that tax return come in. If I get one, I don't know. I'll get a job for like 2 months and then get a tax return. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll get a book deal. Who knows? I've been working on a couple of those. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go. If you enjoyed this video, once again, send like $5 to my Cash App. EmpressisabelMontero. It's in the pinned comment. If you do need some spiritual guidance, if you need to do some spiritual work, if you are needing a chakra reading, somebody needs a chakra reading, most definitely. I can feel it. You need a chakra reading, a cord cutting, an intuitive reading. Remember, my readings are not just readings. You're not just going to get information, but you're going to get techniques and tactics that you can use to effectively change your life. And we're going to go through techniques and tactics. And if I have to chant the spirit off of you during the reading, I will. If I need to do some distance energy work on you during the reading, I will. That is how I operate. I am holistic. That's just how I do things. Oh yeah, and we have the Soul Work Masterclass starting also, guys. That second cycle. Ew. Good night, sweetheart. She said, let me borrow some money. Ow. Girl. I was trying to figure out how my brother just got out of jail. He's fucking doing better than me. I'm like, damn, what, you saved everything from commissary? All right, y'all. I'm going to head out. I'm probably going to watch anime since I got my hair like this. You guys want to see something really cute? Hold up. I'm going to show you. I can't put this hat on, and I can't figure out. I think I'm going to have to sew it, but look how cute this is. I'm going to have that episode, or I'll do a live stream where I actually wear this hat. This thing is fire. I'm going to come up with a cute, y'all, I should get a bodysuit, right, for this hat. But I think I have to sew the ears because they won't stay up. So I'm going to get a bodysuit or something for this hat. This thing is too fire. Too fire. With some red lips. But I love you guys. I love you infinitely. Thank you for spending time with me tonight. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for sharing your heart with me. Thank you for sharing your love with me. Thank you for sharing this time with me, because you could be anywhere else in the world, but you decided to be here. Well, not to sound like Jay-Z, but you decided to be here getting fed spiritually. You decided to be here learning about rituals. You decided to be here learning about how to heal from trauma. Give yourself a hand, because you did what was on your heart for you to do, and you followed your intuition. Nobody comes to me who doesn't follow their intuition. So I know in order for you to be here, you had to follow your intuition. And I love you for that. And I want you to claim your soul sovereignty once again and to keep going on your path. And I just want to encourage you to keep going on your path, whatever that is for you individually. And I'm here for you. I love you guys so much. You have no idea. Like I literally was born for this. So take care. I'm not gonna cry again. Not even though I'm about to take my makeup off anyway. I just can't. I get so emotional. I only get emotional with this, y'all. I'll be a fucking bitch otherwise. Zakita, definitely just message me. All right. I'm gonna get off this live. Bye, guys. Let's see. I gotta get this thing. This is about to die. I'm trying to get it to work. Let's see if I can do it. End live video. Thank you. Maybe it'll work now. Maybe I can do it. Yes, I do. End. All right. I guess I gotta just turn this off this way.